Hello, every audience and the fellow judges. My name is Wulamin Cho, and I'm in secondary school, Jammufa, and I'm in grade 9. So today I'm going to introduce you about the future me, which is my dream jobs. So before we get started, I want to ask you something. What do you think about Vietnamese education? Is it colorful? Does it inspire students to become more creative? Or do you think that it's a good idea to study in Vietnam? Well, this is my answer after a really lifetime experience. No. Well, it will be more like a bunch of homeworks given, and I had to pull all-nighters to finish them. And if I don't finish them, teacher will be angry. And if I finish them, I might fall asleep in the class. As well as you can see that most of the marks in my class will not be actually, but most of them were fails, and the students really don't like this. So, what should we do? Well, obviously we should change the roots of the problems, and the two main causes is the teachers and the parents. Well, why I mention our parents in this project, it's because that my parents has already experienced this type of education, which is they focusing in many kinds of homeworks, and mostly of them are math, because they believe that if we have math, then we can have a better futures. Well, and our teachers trying to fulfill our parents' expectations. So, which leads to a generation full of studying and homeworks. Me too. And so, I believe that I need to do something, and because my dad always say, if you dream something, dream big and do it. So I want to start up a project, and I name it X School, like the school in X-Men. So, and it will be made by me, and also I might invite some of my friends too in the future. And so, what is the purpose of the school? Well, school purpose should be obvious. It's to education. But there are also several more reasons, which is exposing special talent. As you can see, our Earth has more than 7 billion in this Earth. So each and every of them must have a unique talent that they have. Well, if they don't have, they must have some kind of hobbies. And that will help to And this school will help to develop it and to help them give the chance to be themselves, because the students here are fill themselves with lots of homeworks. So I believe that they won't have any time to hang out with their friends, as well as going out to play and discover the world. So I want to provide an environment which has lots of activities outdoors too, not just indoors. And so the objective is obviously changing the students in this generation so that it could help changing people's perspective about studying, which is mostly parents and teachers, to create an environment that is most suitable for students to be themselves. And well, I come up with this idea, it's just a coincidence. It's like when I was sitting on the sofa, and then I saw my younger sister turning on the YouTube, which is 14 most strangest school in the world. So I decided to look up on the web, and I found these 4 things that really caught my eye, which is the no classroom school. They let the students get in the computers to study themselves, to discover themselves. No teaching really. Well, if the student has questions, the teacher will answer it on web. The most colorful school, which really makes the atmosphere brighten up, makes them enjoy it, and office school, which brings life experiments into the school's teaching, and the greener school. Well, I like it is because the environment looks so tranquil and so green. I like it. I like lots of trees. Maybe I will put it into the project too. And so, when we compare Vietnamese studying to advanced country aiming, we'll see a really vast difference. Well, most of the parents really want 75% of the kids to be smart like Einstein, and be rich like Bill Gates. Maybe I'm just exaggerating things, but I know that obviously every parents want the child to be rich and to be smart, because at some moment at the time I also experienced that. Yes, my parents want a Lamborghini. So, but in advanced country aiming, they aim for students to do teamwork so that they could expose team leadership skills in their lifetimes. And they want the students to be socialized. They allow students to have connection. They allow students to hang out with their friends and do outdoor activities frequently, but does not mean neglect homeworks. And to inspire themselves, encourage themselves to be different, to act differently. They don't want the students to be a nice and good kids in class who just listen to the teachers writing, go home, do homeworks, and repeat the cycle. No, they want them to be different. They want them to be creative, to think of their own things, and to do what they like. So, but Vietnamese education did a lot of impacts on the students. Stress. Yes, I experienced all of this in my lifetime. It's not just a year. I'm in grade 9 right now, so you should all know how long. And also homework. Like I can solve a pile of homeworks every time, and it was the worst in my 5th grade and in my 9th grade, which is the last grade in school. So I don't want to do it, but I was forced to do it. If not, I would have lost all of my scores. And also, this does not really happen to me, but my friends really hate it because they got low score even though they study so hard. Contrasting effect. But lots of homework, so they discourage the students to be creative because they have to focus on the homeworks, which leads to hate studying and lack of sleep. But I lack of sleep quite frequently because I have to pull an all-nighter. So the purpose of my school is to give students a better environment, as I already said. So before, I think that it might be hard to start up, but my mom said, just take it easy, girl. You're just grade 9. Why do you have to worry about that so much? So I decided to ask for advice, and then my dad said, just take it easy. So right now, I think that I should just need to focus on my study first. Enter university and get a good graduate. But of course, it's not in Vietnamese study because it doesn't really help much. And make friends. That will be a really good choice for me. Maybe destiny, or maybe I just coincidentally met a friend that will follow me to help me to continue my dream with me, because obviously I cannot create a whole system school by myself. I need someone else, obviously not one or two, many. And I have quite good leadership skill, but I'm not really that confident on leading like thousands of people by myself. It will be a really big burden. And also, I just need to continue to be more brave, and I must continue in my dreams. And so, this is my aiming for the school, but not now, obviously. I'm in grade 9, I can't do anything. And I want to create a whole system of the school, which is elementary, secondaries, and also tertiary, means high school. And if it's possible, I want to create a university too. It's kind of a big, long time, so I decided to start it slowly first, beginning with elementaries, because it's easier to concentrate in one easy thing first. And I want to create a brand new education system, which means I want to apply the forgings and a broad system of education into our education too. Well, I don't think that Vietnamese education is bad for students right now, but it's a bit lots of burden, so students don't really have any time to play. One of my teachers also said that. It's because she had to also put all-nighter to score the test. I don't think she wants that. And finally, I want to find talents and help them sharpen their weapons. Of course, I do things, I think of others too. So that means that this is the main reason why I want to make a school. It's because I want to help Vietnam become more and more developed and became more modern. It's not just like very old and very unfashionable and unsuitable. So thank you for listening to my presentation. Well, obviously, I think that it's colorful and it's really bluish because that's my favorite color. But it doesn't really have any effect because before I was doing it on Canva. When I sent the link, they told me that I should be making it again on PowerPoint. But that was when I only had 1 hour left and I had to go to school at that time. So I had to do one thing is that I just put more like little things to that decorating, but I just print screen it, so it doesn't really have any affection. Besides, I cannot copy the pictures from that to the PowerPoint, so it makes it be even more harder for me to make it more perfect. So yeah, that's why I came to the last computer print screen.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you very much for your presentation.
Okay.